Hey everybody, Miss Thompson here. We're going to convert some fractions into decimals, some decimals into fractions, some fractions into percents, some decimals into percents, some decimals into fractions. So here we go. First I'm going to start with the fraction that I've already been given. That's 2/5, okay? So what am I really saying when I say 2/5? I'm saying actually 2 divided by 5. So all I got to do is make sure I set this up and then I'll get the right decimal. The way I'm going to pretend to set this up is I'm going to pretend like this is a person. I'm just going to push them over to their left, onto their side, and make a line right here. And what that does is, if I turn it onto the side, I'm always going to set up the division problem the correct way if I do that. Okay? So what I'm actually doing is saying 2 divided by 5. All right. So how many times does 5 go into 2? Well, not even one time. What I got to do now is, it's going to be less than 1. So I'm going to put a 0, which is less than 1, and then I'm going to put a decimal point right there. I'm going to add a 0. Now, notice that I have not changed the value of this 2. It is still 2, it's just a 2.0. Okay? So how many times does 5 go into 20 now? That is 4 times. And I'm going to put a 20, and I get a 0 remainder. So as a decimal, 2/5 is 0.4. Okay. Now, if I were starting it with the decimal, I would read this aloud by saying 4/10. Okay? So I could just write it 4/10. Now, that is not in simplest forms. When I do change it to simplest form, it's going to end up giving me 2/5. See how that works? All right. So what I have now is, if I read this, it's 4/10. What I want to do is get it to a percent, though. So what I'm going to do is, knowing that percentages are out of 100, what I have is a 0.4 over 100. Now, what I can't do is have a decimal in a fraction. Can't do that. So what I have to do is get rid of this decimal point by multiplying by 100 and moving a decimal place 2 places. 2 zeros, 2 places. So here, 1 place and 2 places. I'm going to put a 0 there, and I'm going to get 40%.